Hello, everybody. This is Jim Cruz from Affiliated Technology Solutions, and would like to thank you for joining our training session here today. Our training session is going to be covering the Polycom phone and the usage of the Polycom phone. So you have a copy of this document. This document is available in our training website, and it's under the video presentations that we have available to you. And I will show you that at the end of the training session. So I want to again introduce to you to our family of companies, which includes Affiliated Technology Solution, and that includes Voice for Pest, Voice for Pros, and Voice for Turf as well. So again, today's training session is covering the Polycom phone basics. As a quick reference guide that we have available to you, again, we're going to be covering the two basic Polycom models, which includes the Polycom 300 and the Polycom 400 series, which is a majority out there. There are a couple other Polycom models, which includes the 500 series and the 600 series, and those will use the same functions as you see here. We just covered here the two basic models. When you're using the Polycom phone, this is a VoIP phone, and basically when you start using it on the new system, the Voice for Pest or the Affiliated Technology Solution system, you're going to find the functionality of the phone pretty much remains the same as it normally does on any system. All the buttons on the body of the phone still perform as they're labeled to perform. On this side, you're going to see a transfer button, voicemail access button, and a hold button. Standard volume control button on the bottom. On this side, you're going to see buttons that actually light up. You're going to see a mute button, a speakerphone button, even a headset button as well. So all the buttons on the base of the phone still perform as they're labeled. But there are more features than there are buttons. So we ask you to focus on the four buttons that are at the bottom of the screen. Those buttons are referred to as soft keys. And what soft keys do is they change based on the state of the phone. So when the phone is idle, you're going to see some standard buttons like a new call button, a forward, a do not disturb, even a directory button. But once you get on a connected call, then what you're going to find is the buttons will change. And on the connected call state, now you're going to see a transfer button, a conference button, a hold button, and even some additional buttons as you navigate through the different menus. So the first thing we recommend is focus on the four buttons at the bottom of the screen. Second to that, you're also going to be receiving a lot of prompts on the system. So just like your cell phone, the system's going to prompt you and notify you of what options are available and what you need to do to perform those options. So I would recommend focusing on the four buttons at the bottom of the screen and then listening to the options as well. On the left and right of the display screen are buttons that are called line keys. The line keys are actually programmable buttons that are able to be programmed to give you additional functions such as speed dials or user monitor buttons that we call BLF, which is a busy lamp field. And that allows you to program another extension's view onto that button so you can see when they're on the phone, off the phone. You'd also be able to pick up calls for people from those buttons as well. Those can be programmed by us or by you if you're using the web portal, the basic user or the call center agent web portal. It's under your phone's menu where you can program in those buttons as well. So that is a basic reference of the phone itself. The functions of the phone are on page 1 here. First of all, we're going to ask you all to set a voicemail PIN for your voicemail box. The PIN number is also referred to as a password, and that PIN, for most newer systems that we work with, we set a default PIN number of 2027. That is a PIN number that we assign to all phones initially, but then we're going to ask you as soon as possible to reset your PIN number to secure your extension. A good PIN number is 4 to 8 digits, all numeric, and doesn't contain anything consecutive like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here are the instructions to reset the PIN for your voicemail box. After that, we're going to ask you to record a personal greeting on your extension. A good greeting is something like, "Hey, this is Jim. I'm not available to take your call. Please leave your name and number and I'll get back to you." Something like that. Again, here are the instructions to record your personal greeting. Now the other thing is the directory name over here. We're going to ask you to record your directory name on the system. This is used both in the employee directory and it's used to tag to your extension. And whenever your extension gets announced, it will use your name. So here are the instructions to record your directory name. And all we're looking for here is your first and last name. Now you're ready to start using the phone. To dial another extension, you simply dial the 3 or 4 digit number of the extensions on your system. To make an outside call, on some older phone systems, you had to dial an 8 or a 9 to get an outside line. On this system, you only have to dial the 10-digit number just like you do on your cell phone. So simply make the 10-digit number call, and that'll make the call for you. Now, once you start receiving phone calls, the rest of the items in this training video will include items that you'll perform from a connected call. So again, somebody calls you up, you answer the phone, and they ask for somebody else. Now you have to perform a transfer. The easiest method we have is called a blind transfer. This is where you simply transfer the call to their extension without announcing or any other types of functions. So this is considered the easiest method. From the connected call, you'd press your transfer soft key button and followed by a button that says blind, and they'll be side by side. So you press transfer blind, then the prompts are going to come on and say, please dial the extension or the outside number you wish to send the call to. So you can dial a 3 or 4 digit extension number, or you can even transfer the call to an outside number like a cell phone by simply dialing the 10-digit number. Then you simply hang up and you've completed a blind transfer. Now, as we go on to page 2 of your document here, you're going to see we also have a much more intensive supervised transfer. In this case, you'd have to know the name of the caller so you can announce the name of the caller to the person you're transferring the call to. So again, before you press your transfer soft key button, you'd have to ask the caller, may I ask who's calling? And they would identify themselves. And now you're going to say, hold on a second, and just press the transfer button. You do not press blind because you're not doing a blind transfer. So simply press transfer. Then the prompts will come on and say, please dial the extension or the outside number you wish to transfer the call to. Then you're going to press send. So transfer, input the number, send. Now the caller goes on hold. You're going to be hearing the ringing at the extension. And when they pick up the call, then you're going to announce who it is you have on the line. If the person you're announcing to says yes, go ahead and send him through and accepts the call, now you press the transfer button again and the call goes through to that person. Now, there is a caveat here, just in case the person you're transferring the call to says, you know, I'm busy right now and I don't have time to take the call. And he says, tell the person to call me back later or take a message. Then you're going to press your cancel soft key button, and that's going to cancel the transfer request, automatically connect you back to the caller, and you can let them know that this person is tied up at this moment and either take a message or you can go ahead and tell them to call back later. So again, a call announcing feature. Now, another reason you might use the cancel button would be if you reach the person's voicemail box that you're trying to cancel to. Now, you can go ahead and transfer the cancel. You can transfer the call to the voicemail box by pressing transfer, but then the caller might be confused. So again, I would recommend the cancel button. Go back to your caller and at least let them know that the person is unavailable. Also, some of you are going to have an optional feature on your system. These will be on the line keys on the left and right of the display called line parks. And with line parks, we would program in on your phones, and this would be on all the phones on your system, park lines labeled Park 1, Park 2, Park 3. Literally, as it sounds, these are parking spots, a place to park a phone call. So you can park a call by simply pressing Park 1, and that call will be visible on every phone's Park 1 line, which means anybody can pick it up, or again, you can park it for a specific person. So one of the examples I like to use here is if the person you're transferring the call to is on the phone, but they don't want to lose the person, they want them to stay on the system, you could press Park 1, parking them on that line, removing the call from your phone so your phone is available to take another call, and then the person that the call is for can then, when they finish their phone call, pick up the call by pressing park one, and now they have the call. So again, multiple ways to use the park buttons. You can park it for yourself and then pick it up, or you could park it and go to somebody else's office and pick it up. Here, you're also going to have a hold button available on your connected call state. You simply press the hold button to put a call on hold. The button will change to say resume, and that's how you reconnect back to your call. All of you also are going to have a call waiting feature. What the call waiting feature is if you're on the phone and you receive a direct dialed call, this is where somebody has actually dialed your extension. You're going to hear a call waiting tone in your ear. When you hear the call waiting tone, simply look at the display on the phone, and what you're going to find there is two windows. The first window is going to show your current connected call, and the second window is going to say incoming call, and again display the caller ID. So from here, you could make a choice. You can either answer the call or you can ignore the call. If it's a matter of priority and the person that that's calling into you is a priority, then one of the things you could do is tell your current caller, hey, do you mind holding for a minute? Most people say sure, and then you would press your answer soft key button. That puts caller number one on hold and automatically connects you to caller number two, where you could let them know, hey, I'm on the other line, and then basically complete the phone call with them. And then when you're ready to return back to your original caller, you would press your up arrow key, which will highlight the first call. Then you press resume, and that connects you back to caller number one. And then you could let the caller know, hey, thanks for holding. I appreciate it. And then continue with the phone call. Now, the other option you have under the call waiting feature is you can ignore the call. If you hear the call waiting tone, look at your display and see that that person can wait and the priority is the call that you're currently on, then simply ignore the call waiting tone. And after the equivalent of 4 rings, that call will go to your voicemail box, and then you can manage that at a later time. We also have a conference call feature for you. Again, we all get on conference calls. A conference call doesn't begin until you need a third person. Otherwise, it's just a connected call. So from a connected call, you would press your conference soft key button. From there, the caller goes on hold, and then the prompts are going to come on and say, please dial the extension or the outside number you wish to conference in. Then you're going to hear the ringing at the phone. Once they pick up, then you're going to announce to caller that you have a conference call. You're going to join them to it, and this conference call is with Mrs. Smith. Then you simply press your conference button again, and all 3 of you are connected. And if you need to add a 4th or even a 5th person, simply repeat the steps, and that will add the additional bodies to the call. The last page of this is our voicemail box. Again, every extension has a voicemail box. Pretty standard features in here, but what you're probably going to find is the prompts perform differently than your existing phone system or your previous phone system. So when you have a voicemail, the red light will be blinking on the top of your phone. You will then press your voicemail envelope button, and then you'll be prompted to input your password and use the password that is currently used on your extension. If you update your password, then you definitely want to use the new password to get access. So then the main menu reads as follows. To listen to your new messages, press 1. To listen to your old messages, press 2. To send a message, press 3. For call forwarding options, press 4. For additional options, press 5. To access your greeting menu or change greetings, press 6. And then we even have a feature on here that allows you to recover a deleted voicemail. So when you have a new message, you press 1 and the system will play the message for you. After the message plays, it's going to read these options over here to you. Press 1 to save the message, press 2 to replay, press 3 to forward the message to another extension, press 4 to delete, press 5 to go to the next message, and press 6 to reply to a message. So best practices in the industry tells us when you have a new message and you listen to it, make a decision. If you need it, save it. If you don't need it, delete it. And that will help to keep your voicemail box nice and clean, improve efficiency so you don't have to listen to messages 2 or 3 times, and it'll keep your inbox nice and clean. But if you don't save or delete a message, then it goes into the press 2 option folder, which is called old messages. An old message has been heard, but it wasn't saved or deleted. So again, just another folder that I want you to be aware of. So in case you are looking for messages and you can't recall if you saved or deleted, then check your old message folder for those messages. And the messages will reside there until you do something with them, which includes save or delete. Pressing 3 is a send a message feature, which allows somebody to go in, record a message, save it, and then the system will ask you to input the extensions that you want to send this message to. So then you would enter 101, 102, 103 as an example, and each of those extensions will receive a copy of the message. So a lot of people use this for if we need to rapidly deploy a message like, hey, we're going to close early today due to the weather, we're closing at 3 o'clock. And you could either send an email or you could rapidly deploy. A lot of people use this for immediate procedural changes or just in general communication, such as we had a meeting at 2 o'clock, now the meeting's been moved to 2:30, and you could rapidly deploy that message out. But another good use of this would be for the employee who's calling in sick and needs to notify multiple people. So let's say as an example, it's 5 in the morning, you have a sick child and you're not coming to work today. So what you could do is go in here and call into your voicemail box remotely. So on most systems, you would dial in your main number while the night auto attendant is playing. You press the star button on the system, and that is remote voicemail access. So from there, it's going to prompt you to input your extension, input your password, and then you will be into your own main menu of the voicemail box where, again, you can review your messages if you need to, or you can go directly to the send a message option 3, and then it'll ask you to record a message. So you record the message you need to know to let everybody know you're not coming to work today, and then save it and input the extensions that need to receive that. So it's just another way to communicate with the team and let everybody know what's going on. Pressing 4 is the call forwarding options on the system where you can forward your phone to an outside number, whether it be a cell phone or a home phone. You would press option 4 and the submenu is going to read as follows. Press 1 to turn on or off or change your do not disturb. Pressing 2 would be your forward destination, which would be the number you want your calls forwarded to. And then pressing 3 allows you to turn that forward on or off. And again, this function can also be performed remotely from the outside or from home. Pressing 5 is additional options where you can change your password or record your directory name. 6 again is where you can go in and manage your greetings and change your greetings. And again, a lot of you can record multiple greetings. A lot of people record a personal greeting, a meeting greeting, a personal time off greeting as needed. And then you can manage and activate those greetings. And then the last one here is a delete voicemail feature. On most phone systems, when you delete a message, it's gone. But on this phone system, we actually give you the opportunity within the same day to recover and listen to or save the voicemail. So from here, the voicemails, when deleted, will reside in here till midnight tonight. Then at midnight, it dumps the voice messages and they are now permanently deleted. But it gives you within the same day to at least go in, if you accidentally deleted the message, to go back in and recover it or listen to it again. So that is your voicemail system. The last page of the document just says, thank you very much for choosing us at Affiliated Technology Solution and our families of companies, which include Voice for Pest, Voice for Turf, and Voice for Pros. Here is our phone number for customer service and technical support. We do man this number live on the East Coast 8 to 8. After that, it does go through to an answering service, but we always have a technician on duty 24/7, 365. And again, if you're having any issues with your phones or have any questions, we'll be happy to help you with that. So again, that is our training session for the Polycom phones. I want to thank you all for joining us here today. We do have other training videos available to you on many other topics, including the basic user web portal, the cell phone, the mobile app, even supervisory type functions as well. So please review any of the videos, and thank you very much for your time, and good luck with your new phone system.